Hey everyone, this is Carla Jenkins. I am a tall women's fashion luxury consignment reseller. And one of the questions I often get is, how do I get started in resale? How do I get my items ready? I know I have a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes, a lot of other items there. Well, in this video, I'm going to discuss the 3 steps that I use to get started in resale and how it's really helped me sustain a long-term career in resale, because I've been doing this since June 2016 on eBay. As I mentioned before, I have my own store for tall women, and my motto is giving you Neiman Marcus merchandise at rock bottom prices. My store is ebay.com/USR/CARLJENKIN_6. So the first thing I would say is make sure that your items are decent. That may be a small thing, but the reality is I went on another platform. It wasn't eBay, but it's another resale platform, and a lady had the nerve to say that I own a tabby cat and all of my items will come with cat hair. No, that's unacceptable. One, that's a consumer protection, product safety issue, because nobody should be buying anything but cat hair. But you would be amazed how just because you don't want to wear it anymore doesn't mean that resale means something with holes in it, something with stains, faded, all of that. That's not resale. Resale can be anything that's actually new item, never worn, worn once or twice, or pre-owned, which is used or worn clothing. So first and foremost, make sure things are decent looking. I always wash my clothes, and I also, if the fabric requires it, I dry clean it. I take a lint brush to it. I just make it presentable. Yes, I'm reselling my items that I used to wear, but I have enough decency to make sure it looks decent looking. So number one, make sure it's in good condition and it's decent looking, and it's something that you would wear even if you want to sell it. So the number 2 thing is to make sure that you research your items in the industry, in the fields of your items, for 2 things. And the 2 things I want you to focus on are copywriting and fair market value. So copywriting is important because you have to know what words trigger the customer to buy. And in eBay, you have a feature called sold listings. So sold listings accomplishes these 2 things. First, it tells you what your item is currently selling for. And then number 2, it also shows the words that the seller used to get a sale. And by conducting that level of market research, it will accelerate the time between you actually posting it and selling your item. So number 2, research your items for copywriting and fair market value. And then number 3, what I recommend you do is to photograph everything. So normally with me, with clothing, I take at minimum 3 photos. So I take the front, the side, and the back. However, I've sold shoes and I sold other items. So with shoes, I would photograph the front, both sides, the back. I would also photograph the soles and inside of the shoes. So photographs are everything. And the biggest thing is lighting. So make sure that your photos are in a well-lit place. Like for me, I take my photos in one place with the best lighting. You have to realize your customer first receives his item after paying. So photos are important. I also have a bonus tip. If there are any stains, thread missing, divulge that information in your description. And the reason why it's honesty, it's good business. As I mentioned, the customer needs to know all perfect information, but also it's kind of fraudulent for you to sell something and not tell somebody there's a hole in it, there's a thread missing, there's a stain there. So whenever I have something, I've sold things that weren't perfect. What I do is I photograph it and I put it in the description because I'm very big in perfect information. So the 3 steps to make sure that your item is ready for resale are: first, make sure that your items are decent looking. So that means that they're washed, they're not worn, they don't have holes in them, they don't have animal hair, cat hair, anything. If it's dry cleaned, it needs to be dry cleaned. The rule of thumb for me is, even though you're selling it and you wouldn't wear it, you would still be able to wear it. Number 2, research your item for copywriting and fair market value. So copywriting is the words or the advertising that you write to make it sell, so in your description. And the second thing is fair market value. As I mentioned, I'm an eBay reseller, and eBay has a sold listings feature which accomplishes both. It shows the fair market value of what your item is actually selling for most recently, and it also shows you the words and the advertising that the sellers use to be able to sell the item. Number 3, photographs are everything. Make sure that you photograph in a well-lit place. And the bonus tip is, if there's anything that's off about the item, like thread missing, holes, stains, photograph those, put them in the description. Remember, with resale, whether or not it's eBay, Amazon, or some other platform, the first time the customer sees his merchandise is when after he pays for it and ships. So it's very important to make sure that all of the photos are well lit. You have a copious amounts of information in the description, and that you make sure that everything is lined out so that they won't ask for a refund. So my name is Carla R. Jenkins. I am a tall woman's luxury fashion consignment seller on eBay. My motto is giving you Neiman Marcus merchandise at near rock bottom prices. And you can shop my store at ebay.com/USR/CARLJENKIN_6. So I would like to thank all live and replay viewers for taking out the time to watch my video, how to make sure that your item is ready for resale. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.